If you guys know me, you are not surprised that we are making a video specifically talking about all of the leaks and evidence we have for a Tranzit remake in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, Black Ops 2 Zombies, my favorite zombies game of all time, my favorite overall Call of Duty of all time. I want to see that game return in some type of way. A Black Ops 2 10-year anniversary in 2022 would be super cool. Is that going to happen? Probably not. But what is more likely is that we see the Tranzit, Buried, and Die Rise remakes added to Cold War Zombies. We're going to go through specifically all of the information we have for Tranzit returning. People have been talking about it recently. We're also going to talk about it potentially as an Outbreak map in Cold War Zombies. So a lot of stuff to go through here in today's video. If you can, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Really do appreciate guys getting super close to 70,000 subscribers on the channel. So again, thank you so much guys for the support recently. Before we get started, I want to update you guys on the ongoing Zombies event in Warzone right now that will eventually lead to the Warzone Nuke event very soon. A bunch of creators were sent some stuff from Activision. They got these orange prisoner gulag pants, and they also got a note from Warzone 2, and it says this: "There are no second chances after losing a battle here. The outer prison is a hostile, rich environment. You're safer in the gulag." So a little bit of a pun there. Kind of funny, Activision. But pretty much here, it seems like they're teasing that zombies are spreading to the gulag next in Warzone. Will this be significant for any other reason other than the zombies are continuing to spread throughout Verdansk, and at some point, the zombies will pretty much get to every single area in Verdansk? I'm not so sure. It's probably going to be pretty cool to see zombies in the gulag, but other than that, I don't think there's any other storyline significance here as to what's going to be occurring, but this will be occurring in the next couple of days. People have also been talking about what this V might mean on the pants. This V is also seen on Samantha Maxis's model in Black Ops Cold War Zombies along with 05, and this is actually a model from Carnage Ripley, so shout out to her. And it's super interesting to see, you know, what this might mean here. People were saying could just be V for Verdansk, or it could be V for this place, Voidianoi. I don't know if I said that correctly, but could be that as well, the new shipwreck location. But we really don't know what this means. It's scattered on all of these characters, and it does cross over again into the main zombie storyline with this V being found on Samantha Maxis's operator. So very interesting to hear, to see, you know, what that crossover is between these two storylines, Warzone and the main Cold War Zombie storyline. We'll probably get more information on that very soon. I do think that these are separate things, like the Warzone Nuke event, the zombies being on Verdansk, us nuking the map to get rid of the zombies. That is a separate thing than what's going on in the Dark Ether storyline for Cold War, but I do think there will be some type of similarity. We'll have teasers for Berlin in this Nuke event, and we'll have a bunch of stuff that cross over, because that's just the theme of Call of Duty nowadays. Storylines cross over. Black Ops Cold War storyline crossing over into Warzone, which crosses over into Modern Warfare. It's all coming together, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see some main zombie map teasers in this, you know, Warzone Nuke event, so stay tuned for that. Let's go through all of the Tranzit remake information for Black Ops Cold War Zombies. So when did we first talk about the chance of Tranzit being remade in a game? It was before Zombie Chronicles DLC 5 came out for Black Ops 3 Zombies. I'm pretty sure I made a video back in late 2016, early 2017 about Zombie Chronicles, and back then we didn't exactly know what Zombie Chronicles for Black Ops 3 would include. I mean, we thought that Zombie Chronicles DLC 5 would be every single zombies map up until that point remade, remastered into Black Ops 3 Zombies. Then we got the information that Zombie Chronicles would only be some of the World at War maps, some of the Black Ops 1 maps, and then Black Ops 2's Origins. And that was it. And they left out a bunch of different maps. The original Zombie Chronicles did not include Mob of the Dead, 5, Tranzit, Buried, Die Rise, Call of the Dead, Nuketown, Derice, but, you know, the Giant was in Black Ops 3, so that's the reason why we didn't see Derice there. But, you know, Zombie Chronicles 1 didn't include a lot of maps here, so we were looking at these maps and saying these maps will be remade in the second iteration of a Zombie Chronicles 2. Now, what occurred in Black Ops 4 behind the scenes, the development of the game, how they were going to make these Ether remade maps, which would include a Tranzit remake, is very important for the overall Tranzit Remake story. So Black Ops 4 was originally supposed to have a second full year of DLC maps during Modern Warfare 2019. Now, that second year was supposed to include all of the Ether map remakes that have not done before. The first season was supposed to be all Chaos maps, and the second season was supposed to be Tranzit, Bury, Die, Rise, I guess Nuketown, Call of the Dead as well. But pretty much all of you guys know what happened halfway during the first season of Black Ops 4. Treyarch had to go and start making Call of Duty 2020 because of the issues between Sledgehammer and Raven, and at that point as well, we knew that the Chaos storyline wasn't that popular, and it seems like Treyarch's plans for extending Black Ops 4 into a second DLC season just wasn't going to happen. So they decided to scrap the last two Chaos maps, end the storyline mid-season, and bring over two of the Ether maps to end the Ether storyline at the end of the first full year of content of Black Ops 4 Zombies. We've had leaks back in BO4 regarding Tranzit, Buried, and Die Rise being pretty much fully made back in that game. As far as we know, those maps are fully playable on the Black Ops 4 engine. We've also had other leaks saying that playtesters have played early versions of a Buried and Die Rise remake back in Black Ops 4. So these maps were in the works. They were ready to be remade in the second year of Black Ops 4 Zombies. That didn't happen, and now they're just locked on the Black Ops 4 hard drive, and we really don't know what the status of that is. Now, I don't know about gaming development and how easy it is to port over a map from the Black Ops 4 engine to the Black Ops Cold War engine, but I do think if it's easy, that is definitely what they're going to do. Now, with Cold War Zombies, the recent information and discussion about a Tranzit remake in this game has been super interesting and kind of inconclusive, because originally the Game Revolution was receiving a bunch of different cryptic messages about the Tranzit bus driver, Tranzit being in Cold War Zombies, but he never got any hard evidence that, you know, Tranzit would be 100% in this game. We got our first teaser for Cold War Zombies with the Nocturne Toten remake, and a lot of people were thinking, you know what, this is it. The launch map for Cold War Zombies will be a Tranzit remake. We quickly realized that wasn't the case, and the launch map would be Die Maschine, but then we got a pretty big leak. Before Black Ops Cold War released, pretty much the entirety of the game leaked out. We knew about all of the features, the perks, the maps, the weapons, and another leaker who was giving us credible information. This guy was super credible, and pretty much everything he said came out to be true. He said this, and this is what COD Zombies HQ talked about in his recent Tranzit remake video. He said that Tranzit would not be there at launch. Now, the fact that he said that doesn't mean that Tranzit was supposed to be in Black Ops Cold War Zombies at launch. He was just responding to the rumors that people had about Tranzit potentially being at launch, and then he was confirming that, you know what, it's not going to be there at launch. But regardless of that, I still think we're getting Tranzit in Cold War Zombies eventually, more based on the Black Ops 4 information and the evidence that we talked about, and also the fact that Zombies is super popular in Cold War right now. Those two things for me are pretty damning that, you know, we're gonna see Tranzit return in this game later on down the line. We did see something else regarding some Tranzit information in Black Ops Cold War Zombies. This was the leak back in January that we talked about. I'm gonna go through it here. It was where we talked about these zombie remade maps being available only in the Zombies Battle Pass. So this guy said that starting in Season 2, the Battle Pass will feature some zombie content tiers, skins for operators like Samantha Maxis, Eddie, exclusive in the Zombies mode, but also the Battle Pass will feature a new map for the mode, remade from the ground up from the original Black Ops 2 Zombies version, Green Run, where a player rides a bus and moves around a huge area escaping zombies. 2 more maps will be remade from Black Ops 2 in the Battle Pass. Die Rise, another vertical map set in a skyscraper, and then Buried, set in an abandoned western town. So that was the information there. I'm not so sure how credible that is, just because of the fact that we're not going to see maps in the Battle Pass. They release maps for free. They release them alongside the normal updates, the Season 1 1, Season 1 Reloaded, Season 2, those types of updates. They're not going to release it and put it in the Battle Pass only. It's just not going to happen. So I don't think that's going to happen, but, you know, a Tranzit Remake releasing as a normal Zombies map in Season 6, for example, very, very possible. That was all of the evidence we've had for Tranzit being brought back into Cold War Zombies in the past couple of years, but let's talk about the map itself. I do want to touch upon the Black Ops 2 original Tranzit leaks here, because there were supposed to be so many different features in the original BO2 Tranzit that they scrapped because of the limitations back in 2011 and 2012 when the map first released. So to go through here, here's some of the information. So we had back then the Spaz 12, Dragunov, and Sabertooth cut from zombies. The zombie head was a cut power-up. The cut game modes include Meat, Race, No Man's Land, Containment, Deadpool, Pitted, Richtofen, and Maxis. Treyarch had so many different and unique game modes made specifically for Tranzit, and they were all just cut because they didn't have enough time. The consoles probably couldn't handle it, and that was that. I mean, it is insane how much stuff we have here. Tranzit was also originally supposed to have different areas like a lava lake, a power factory. Tranzit also originally had a separate version that was set before Moon and before the Earth was blown up. That would have been so insanely cool, pretty much like a clean version of Tranzit. No cracks in the ground, no lava. I mean, it would have been a very interesting version there. And we also have some stuff. The power station was supposed to be another sub area for Green Run, but cut. So all different locations again that were cut from the game. We ended up only getting the bus depot, diner, farm, the power area, the town. So they had so many other ideas here. The jet gun in Tranzit was originally supposed to be upgradable, but that was cut. It would have lasted longer, done more damage, and it could have been used for a longer amount of time. I mean, it's so insane to see that, you know, they had so many different features here. The jet gun actually being decent would be a huge redemption story in a Tranzit remake, and finally adding that upgrade in the Cold War Zombies Tranzit remake would make perfect sense. Some more stuff about Tranzit. Traveling the bus in Tranzit was originally supposed to be more dangerous. Upon entering special ambush zones, there was a 25% chance of an ambush round starting. During this ambush round, the bus would break down and hellhounds would start spawning in. Upon killing all of the hellhounds, the players would receive a max ammo and the bus would start moving again. Richtofen originally had more lines in the game that interacted with the players and commented on their actions. They were cut later in development. Tranzit also originally had a day and night cycle on the map, so you would be playing the map, it would be a daytime, and then it would slowly turn to nighttime. The map also had a second bus route B, which we've talked about for so many years now, and you also could have the option to skip certain destinations with the bus. You could make the bus go faster, and you had a HUD display showing the timer, and the bus also had its own individual power-up. So many different options here, so many different ways to play Tranzit, so many different things in Tranzit that, again, they planned on having that they just didn't have. Hellhounds were also supposed to be in Tranzit, and they would have appeared during the ambush rounds that we talked about. Diner was also originally going to be a survival map. I'm kind of surprised as to why it wasn't. I don't know how much work it really would have took to add it as a survival map. It seemed pretty easy because it was already in Tranzit, but, you know, that wasn't in the game at launch, obviously. There's so many other different leaks as well for what the original version of Tranzit was supposed to look like back in Black Ops 2 Zombies, and for a Tranzit remake in Cold War Zombies, if they just added all of these different features, the different game modes, bus route B, new locations, being able to control the bus, new ambush rounds, the day and night cycle, if they just added all of their original plans into Cold War Zombies, which they could easily do now, they have more resources, better hardware, probably a bigger Zombies team than they've ever had before. This could be such a fire map. Leave your ideas or comments down below. What would you want them to add for a Tranzit remake survival map? But now let's also talk about an Outbreak map for Tranzit. Now, recently, Outbreak has been a huge topic of discussion, and I've been talking about Outbreak being a pretty refreshing thing in Cold War Zombies and for the Zombies game mode overall. I would love to see a transit map in the Outbreak game mode. I know some people don't like Outbreak in this game, and I do want to say I want Treyarch to prioritize transit being a normal survival map. I want to see that normal survival map remake in the game. But if for some reason Treyarch decided that, you know what, we're not doing a normal survival transit remake map and we're going to make transit into the Outbreak game mode and we're going to put it in that setting, then I would still be fine with that as well, because transit really was originally supposed to be an open world zombies experience. We were talking about back in Black Ops 2 about transit potentially being an open world campaign map. That obviously didn't happen, but this open world transit idea could be really seen in Outbreak to a whole new level. Being able to do all of the different Outbreak objectives, new objectives added all over the transit map, new objectives that have to do with the transit bus. I mean, they could do so much stuff there. So transit as an open world Outbreak map, I personally think would be so insanely cool. And again, if they could make it an Outbreak map and also a survival map at the same time, that would be sick as well. If you guys have any different ideas as to how transit could be implemented into the Outbreak mode, what specific objectives we could see in that mode, what Easter eggs we could see in transit, in Outbreak, and also in the normal survival remake version, let me know down below. I'm gonna make another video talking about a lot of your guys' ideas, but for now, I think transit has, again, so much potential in this game for survival, for Outbreak. The audience is huge, and I'd bet for a lot of people, they haven't actually even seen transit. They've never played transit. They don't even know what transit is. So let me know down below, are you a new zombies player? Have you played transit? For a lot of those players, the casual players, this would be a whole new zombies map experience for them. And for a lot of the people that have been around for several years now, this would be so insanely cool just to see transit brought back into the game and actually turned into a solid map. We know how hated it was back in the day. To see transit brought back into the game and actually made a good map and maybe turning into one of the best maps of all time would be just so cool to see. So let me know down below any ideas you have for a transit remake, and I'll be sure to update you guys once we get more information on this map. And I do want to make a video going through again your ideas, your theories for a transit remake, what Easter eggs we could see, what features they could add on the map. So leave those comments down below. That's pretty much it here for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a comment down below. Transit, if you watched the entire video, is greatly appreciated. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.